So I saw this thing on Facebook. It talked about taking a jar and taking a piece of paper and writing one good thing that happened to you each week and putting it in the jar. And that would be at the end of the year, you'd be able to go back and read them all and see all the good things that happened to you over the year. Well, I'm taking a little bit different approach because I do this for my kids. So I decided that I would take that and kind of expand on it a little bit. And I'm going to do my best to make a video of the good things that happened to me all year long. One a week. So, this week, the first week of January here, it is Saturday the 6th. So, the first thing, I got to go hunting yesterday. And there's two things about that. Number one, I'm just getting back into hunting, and that's something that I didn't do for probably nearly the last 20 years. Was not pleased with hunting on public land. Always ended up with somebody coming in on top of me, and I just really didn't enjoy it at that point. So recently, a buddy of mine said, "Hey, come hunt on my place." So, as part of that deal, I've built a shooting house, and I've helped him work on the land and stuff to clear it up. Still got a lot of work to go, but here's the thing. It's something that I enjoy, and I didn't realize how much I enjoyed it. And it brings back to mind another story of my friend David Marsh and I. Now, David was not a deer hunter. He was a duck hunter. So, if you know anything about duck hunting, you don't have to be quiet. You don't have to be still. You just got to sit in your blind and wait for him to come up. Well, that was David. He was a social hunter. And loved him to death. David passed away from pancreatic cancer. And I miss him a lot. Especially around this time of year when duck season's starting to roll in. Because he got me into duck hunting. But the one time that I actually went hunting with David, not duck hunting, but deer hunting, we took off to some land that his family owned over in the Greenbrier area. And we get out of the truck. I'm thinking, okay, we're going to walk across the field. We're going to get in the hunting stand. He's told me, that's this big tower stand. It's nice, all this. Okay, I'm good with that. Let's go. So, David and I take off trekking across this field. We get maybe 100 yards across this field, and all of a sudden, I'm starting to get my feet wet. I didn't wear rubber boots. David did. Again, David's a duck hunter. So we're tromping across through here. I'm starting to get wet. He's like, "Oh, it ain't that bad. It ain't that bad. It's just it's very little water. We usually flood this for duck, but we haven't closed the dike yet." Okay. All right, that's good. I can suffer through this. So we get all the way across the field, and we get to the stand. Now, I will tell you, this was a Cadillac of a stand. They had built this thing out of, if I remember correctly, telephone poles for the legs. It had a platform with a trap door in the middle, and the ladder went up the middle of the structure. So we go up the structure. Well, David goes up first. He's going to go up. He's going to open the door, and hey, I'll go up first. Okay. So David starts up the ladder. I'm standing at the bottom of the ladder watching David go up. David was a duck hunter. He didn't need to climb ladders. He's carrying all of his stuff with him too, which was another mistake and something that I should have thought about. So David gets up there and he's struggling. He's trying to get the thing unhooked so that he can open the door so that we can get in. And some of y'all may remember him. Remember the big, was it 6-volt or 9-volt battery lights, They were great, but the battery was, about that square, about 2.5 inches square, and probably about 4 inches tall. Very heavy, especially when they fall on your head. You see, David dropped the light, and it smacked me right in the head. Now, some of you may look at me and go, well, that explains some things. Well, anyways, so we finally get in the hunting stand. And again, remember, David's a duck hunter. We are sitting there trying to be quiet. David, be quiet. What? What's going on, huh? Hey, I think they'll come out over there if they're going to come out. David, you got to be quiet. This isn't duck hunting. This is deer hunting. You've got to be quiet. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. He'd sit there for a few minutes, then he'd go to say something else, and just like normal David. Now, David was also a salesman, so David talked extremely loud at times. So, I'm like, okay, maybe we've got this part under control. Well, then I start hearing cellophane. I wish I had some around here to rattle, but everybody knows that sound of cellophane. And aluminum foil. I start hearing aluminum foil rattle. And I turn around and look. And David has his little cooler. And he has opened it up. And he's got a biscuit. And his coffee. And some crackers. Needless to say, we didn't see any deer. But I love David just as much then as I do now, and I miss him a lot. But that was the one thing that I got to revisit in my life when I got to go hunting this week. So what's your one thing that you've done that's good that's happened to you this week? See y'all next week with another. See ya.